So a couple of days ago, Dave Chappelle responds to the Katt Williams interview with Shannon Sharpe on Club Shay Shay. Now, he was on stage with D. Ray Davis and Dion Cole, and the brothers were on stage basically building and giving their thoughts on whether or not the Katt Williams interview was good for comedy. And I want to give my thoughts on this situation, but I want to beg the question, was Dave Chappelle's response to Katt Williams' interview a bad look? And I want to give my thoughts. Much love, peace, and blessings. Shout out to everybody checking into the channel. This your boy Get 'em Mike. And really appreciate everybody that's been commenting, subscribing, checking into the channel, showing love. Much love to y'all. This is a brand new channel, man. We trying to hurry up and get this thing built up real quick, man. We trying to at least get up there to 1,000 subs and get that thing moving real fast, man. So I invite each and every one of you guys under the sound of my voice, if you guys like these type of reaction videos and just giving all types of thoughts on all types of videos, man, feel free to hit the like and share button and subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. Now, I want to give my thoughts on whether or not the Katt Williams interview, okay, Dave Chappelle was basically on stage and he was, giving his thoughts on whether that interview was good for comedy. And I'm just asking, is this a good look? Is this a good look for Dave Chappelle, man? And some of the things I was thinking about is that both of these guys are comedy heavy hitters, right? Both of these guys has been known in the game for a long time. They got a lot of specials and they are looked at to be some of the top comedians, not only in today, but of all time. Okay, so the reason why I want to ask is whether or not this is a good look is because a lot of people are fans of both of these guys. Okay, a lot of people are fans of Dave Chappelle from all the way back, from from the Nutty Professor days, back when he was coming up and doing movies with Martin, and just the Chappelle Show and the whole thing where he had to leave and go to Africa. So a lot of people have been fans of Dave Chappelle for a long time, and we know Katt Williams going all the way back in the day when he had that stand-up with the green outfit on and he was roasting Michael Jackson. So a lot of people have been fans of these guys for a long time, man. So I think, with this type of response, man, I think it's gonna get a big response from the fans, man. The social media world is they're gonna take this thing and they're gonna run with it very, very far, man. So one of the things I noticed with Dave Chappelle in this interview is that, first of all, the brother was drunk. All right, so I kind of want to give him a little bit of a pass on some of the things he was saying, because the dude was drunk, and I know when you drunk, a lot of times that's when the truth come out. So I mean, I imagine this is how he kind of feels about it, and I think at the end of the video he basically was saying that he's pretty much standing on what he said. So I don't think Dave Chappelle is backtracking off of what he said, but I do want to give him a little bit of a pass, because sometimes when you drunk, you do you're not in your right mind, and as far as how you respond to things, man. So I kind of want to give him a little bit of a pass on that. But I will say this, I think fans are a little bit shocked at his response to basically saying that the Katt Williams interview was basically unnecessary, for the fact that he came out and he started ethering the other black comedians and other black folks in the industry. And a lot of people are kind of confused about that, because Dave Chappelle was one of the main ones that was basically trying to expose Hollywood and trying to expose the industry. And the fact of the matter is that now that Katt Williams, has made that big interview, and because he's always been a truth seeker, but the fact that now he's had such a big interview, exposing a lot of lies that goes on amongst comedians with the stolen jokes and just some of the other things, and just, exposing these gatekeepers and how, they only allow certain people in the club to, y'all seen the interview for the most part, right? Talking about the virgin, a-hole and all of that stuff he was going at, where a lot of these celebrities and comedians, they have to do certain things in order to make it big and to get to that next step. So, I think a lot of people were pretty much surprised at Dave Chappelle's response, being the level of comedian he is, and also with his track record of how he went about trying to expose the industry. So it's like, it kind of seems a bit hypocritical a little bit, because it's like, bro, we know everything you've been through you know what I'm saying, with Hollywood and what they tried to get you to do and how they tried to get you, you know, to wear a dress, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people heard a lot of news recently came out, and maybe videos circulating around the web that Dave Chappelle was caught in his earlier comedic days where he was wearing some sort of a female, I don't know if it was actual dress, but he had like things in his shirt that looked like boobs, and he had lipstick on, something he had going on where a lot of people says basically he's a hypocrite for trying to call out the whole Hollywood and how they make people wear dresses and stuff like that. So I think it's confusing a lot of fans from the fact that a lot of people thought Dave Chappelle was this big truther and big truth seeker, and that he was woke in the industry and trying to expose the powers that be. And for him to come out and say these things about Katt Williams when you clearly see Katt Williams was on that type of time is I think it's not really a good look in that regard, man. It's starting to look a little bit hypocritical to your fans and to everybody on social media, right? Now, to move aside from that, we know how big this interview was with Katt Williams and Club Shay Shay, but you know, for him to come out and talk about it in this light, the way in which he said it seems a little bit like a clout chase, and it seems a little bit like jealousy. Okay, the way he said it, I don't know if I can try to find certain timestamps where he was talking about it. I played this video in my last video. I think it's MREC TV. You know, he responded to Katt Williams. But he was basically going in saying that, you know, the fact that it's not good for comedy. The Katt Williams interview is not good for comedy. And he was basically saying because he dropped a special the same day and it did just fine. So, so you know what I'm saying? I don't know what that really means, but he's basically trying to plug himself in to this whole situation, man. I think, in my personal opinion, I think a lot of fans are basically, you know, saying based off of his level of comedy and how long he's been in the game and how he's, you know, revered as such a high level comedian, right? And also the fact that Katt Williams basically hadn't said anything negative about him. Okay, everything Katt had to say about Dave Chappelle and also D.L. Hughley was something extremely positive, okay? So a lot of people are confused as to what is the purpose of him coming out and basically, you know, kind of, not, I don't want to say coming at Katt Williams because he made it clear that he got a lot of love for Katt and it ain't no hard feelings on this, but I think a lot of people are still confused at the position that he chose to take on the whole Katt Williams interview, right? And how he's trying to, it seems like he's almost trying to like, how can I say, kind of like, I don't want to say battle him, but basically, you know, throw himself in there as a competitor against Katt Williams in this situation. And I think a lot of fans kind of took it the wrong way, and they kind of thought maybe, you know, he probably should have took a different approach. And one approach that a lot of people thought that he could have and should have maybe taken was similar to how D.L. Hughley, you know, responds, because he basically didn't respond. I think there was a few Twitter comments that he actually said something in as it relates to the Katt Williams interview, but he didn't say anything. Somebody else said it, and he basically just laughed at it. So it's like a lot of people would have thought, okay, maybe Dave Chappelle probably should have took the high road and just used silence in this one, because a lot of times silence is way louder than talking. You know, I think this, in my personal opinion, if Dave Chappelle would have just never said nothing about this whole thing, I think it would have spoke volumes of his level of comedy and how much higher up on the comedy, you know, pedestal than a lot of these other guys are. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people view Dave Chappelle as one of the top 5. A lot of people got Dave Chappelle in their Mount Rushmore of comedy. So, you know, the fact that he came out and he spoke on this, I think is kind of a bad look. I think it kind of tarnishes him a little bit right now, because the smart thing to do, and I respect them, because I feel like Dave Chappelle was basically speaking his mind. He was basically speaking what he felt. So I'm not never the type of person to get mad at somebody for speaking how they feel. Like, bro, if that's on your chest and that's what's in your heart, say it, bro, and stand on it, because that's the, you know, the correct way to go about doing things. And he's never been the type of person to really bite his tongue. But I feel like from a wisdom standpoint, if he wasn't going to say something good about Katt, I think with everything that's surrounding Katt Williams and how much people are supporting Katt Williams right now, I think it would have been almost more wiser to just do like D.L. Hughley and just not say nothing about it and just keep on moving on with your career, keep on moving on with your stand-up. And I think it would have, you know, spoke volumes about Dave Chappelle, but you know what I'm saying? So, So I think some fans might have lost some respect for Dave Chappelle in this situation. You know, we know Dave Chappelle went off to Africa for about 10 years. He had his issues with Hollywood and stuff like that. So I think a lot of people might have possibly lost some respect for him, but there is some people out there that actually agree with him and basically saying that a lot of, you know, the fans being sensitive to comedy and basically the cancel culture had a lot to do with why comedy has started to die off, and it don't have anything to do with Katt Williams as far as him trying to bring it back. I see a lot of fans saying that. It's like, hey man, it's the cancel culture and the sensitivity of the human beings these days. That is what really killed comedy. You know, I don't know how the Katt Williams interview helps it, but you know, from my personal opinion, I think it brings and sheds a light on comedy. I think a lot of the guys' names that was mentioned, their names are trending, and a lot of publicity is on these guys, and you know, a lot of people on YouTube and a lot of these podcasts in these spaces are talking about it. So a lot of times people's names getting moved around the web can be a good thing financially. So I can see how it helps. You know, in my personal opinion, I think a lot of these guys, and this is just my personal opinion, all right, you guys have yours and I respect it, but I think a lot of these celebrities in general, they be acting fake woke. A lot of them act like they woke, but 9 times out of 10, if these guys are celebrities and they famous, a lot of times these guys are with the higher ups, okay? That's just in my opinion. I know, and that goes for Katt Williams too. Oh, he's woke, he's exposing the industry. I mean, I'm the type of person that like when truth is being spoke, but I feel like the rabbit hole goes deep, and I think there's a lot more that goes into it, and I don't think Katt Williams, Dave Chappelle, or any one of these celebrities are as pure and as clean as you guys try to make them seem just because they come out and speak truth. I think a lot of these guys, if you know their name and they're famous and they're on TV, 9 times out of 10, they sold out, in my personal opinion. That goes for Katt Williams too, but you know, you guys can let me know how you feel about it down in the comment section. I think the rabbit holes goes extremely deep. The signs, the symbols, and all of that stuff like that, who they worship, I think a lot of that got to do with it, man. So I just wanted to get in here, give my thoughts, give my opinions. You guys feel free to give your opinions down in the comment section. I'm Get a Mic. This is a brand new channel, so if you guys like this type of talk and like this type of content, I will be doing more videos on the channel. We're trying to grow. We're trying to grow rapidly. I want to grow fast. We want to get to the top quick. I don't want to waste no time with this thing, man. So if you guys like this type of content and you respect, you know, what I'm doing and what I'm trying to accomplish, man, really appreciate you guys. Feel free to share the video and subscribe to the channel. So really appreciate it, guys. I'll be back with more. Much love, peace, and blessings. I'm Get a Mic. Shout out to everybody from Florida. And I'll holler at y'all in the next video. Yes, sir.